Hey, so I just want to give a quick update on how to actually utilize some of the different enemy pieces, because I want to expose some values so that people have an easier time actually hooking into stuff going on with the enemies. So the first thing I did, all the enemies are now pulling from this BP base enemy. So anything you put on this base enemy will propagate now to every single enemy. So just to show you it's working too, if I go ahead and add like a big sphere here to see it, and I'll move it up here and go into either DannyBot or the Brute, should see that that sphere is now coming in. So if you have like a Niagara system or Niagara system or anything like that, you just have to put it onto the base and it'll propagate throughout all the enemies. So super useful. The other thing, I started exposing some of the variables so that now one of the things you can do in like the base enemy is if you want to turn stuff on, or you can hook into this event here, the on character hit event, which I can just right click and then type in on character hit. That should be triggered every time the character is hit. And then the health is actually attached to the attributes component found here, which is on all the enemies. So you can get the health percentage based off of it, and then that'll return the percentage of health remaining on the actual enemy. So every time the character gets hit, you can go find what that health percentage is. Using a Niagara system or a Niagara system, if we go ahead and just say add one here, and let me even make a new one, you should be able to actually go into its certain components and change values. And I'll even show one of my projectiles. It should be under attacks, projectiles, projectile base. One of the things that I'm doing with this Niagara system is going in and accessing the particle color value. So in order to get a variable off of the Niagara system, you need to call it specific variable and then just pass in the right type, which you should be able to, let's say, set Niagara value. And then you can grab all these different components. So it can be a bool, it can be a float, it can be an integer. Then you just pass in a name of the thing you want to change, and then you can set it based off that. And then this one, if I go ahead and go into this system, we can see that all your variables show up in the user parameters. So I'm grabbing like the particle color here and setting the color here based on whatever linear color I'm passing into. So that's where you could like set a float that's health percentage and then update how much stuff is happening based on that float percentage too every time the player gets hit. So I want to expose a bit more and make it a bit easier to actually hook into some of the things that are happening with the enemy. And if you have any other questions, please let me know.